They have come to Cary, North Carolina to chase a soccer fortune. 32 teams all vying for one prize. A very big prize, $1 million to the winning team. All the others leave with empty hands and empty pockets. More group play about to commence here from the soccer tournament. West Ham United and Dallas United here tonight. Hi there, Jason Knapp here. Glad to have you with us again alongside Warren Barton. And Warren, this 7-on-7 high-octane format has provided us with this knowledge. Doesn't matter if you're a team like West Ham United with legends of your glory days or a team like Dallas United with young, hungry talent trying to prove themselves. You got to get it done on the smaller pitch.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that Matt Jarvis was saying, that one of the West Ham players, that the Far East team that they played against, they was quick, they was direct, they was hungry for the ball, and Dallas are going to be exactly like that. But West Ham have got pride, they've got quality, and they need to know they're going to get results. So that's one of the things. The tempo of the game should be good. They've had enough time to prepare, to get ready, and then get prepared for this game, because this is going to be a tough game for West Ham.
Again, one of the proud squads of the English Premier League, trying to get things done again with a lot of legends. Some of those guys a little ailing after game one on the questionable list. We'll see if some of those stars are able to give it a go, the likes of Carlton Cole, Marlon Harewood, and others.
Yeah, again, that's the biggest thing, with the fatigue kicking in. The first game, a lot of adrenaline players now, but they've got a depth of players. They've got experience as well with Anton Ferdinand. You said he may be carrying me as the right back. He can push on as well. So they've got enough players, Carlton Cole, Marlon Harewood, players that have played in the Premier League, play at high games, played at a high level. But this Dallas team, they won't have any fear. We watched them beforehand. They actually lost the game in the first couple of moments as well. So that's really where they needed to do a little bit better defensively. But they've got a good fan base behind them. We've got some good players. And Anders, number 8, he wants to get on the ball. Rodriguez, number 11, he's a talented player. So don't be surprised if these players step up. It's a big occasion for them, because they would have watched these guys on TV. Now they're sharing a field with them.
Yeah, majority of this Dallas United squad from Texas in their 20s and getting to go up against some of the legends of the game. Get things going. Dallas United, West Ham United, both seeking their first victory of group play. We'll kick it off next.
Set for TST action featuring Dallas United and West Ham.
The rules of the soccer tournament, 7-on-7 competition, 2 20-minute halves. Offsides, forget them. Throw-ins, nope, we'll kick it in from the side. Subs, as many as you want here, unlimited in this game. At the end of the 40 minutes of regulation, we set a target score. It's one more goal than the leading team has. First team to get to that target score takes the game, so you're never out of it. We look at our starting lineups brought to you by UFOS. Again, some of those big names there for West Ham United. Dallas United, again, this young side had to come from behind soccer almost from the outset in their first game against Culture by Mo Ali. They gave up 2 goals in the first 3 minutes. Rest of that game in regulation was played scoreless. Dallas United got a goal in target time but ultimately lost 3-1. And for West Ham United, they too were chasing things. Ended up being down 3-1 at the end of regulation. Got a goal in target time but fell 4-2. And right away, West Ham United, aggressive opportunity there, just wide of the net. And some of the young guns for this squad, Archie Woods with the shot, the setup from Keenan Forsum, members of some of the youth sides for West Ham, putting their influence early.
Yeah, should have scored. It just couldn't Woods adjust his feet, but that's the energy that they're going to need pushing on. Them two in particular in the first game in the second half really showed their authority in the game. Although they're surrounded by big names and superstars, they're the two that stood out. Good composure. Anyone that knows West Ham Football Club, it's about keeping the ball. It's about young players expressing themselves. When you think of Rio Ferdinand coming through the academy, Frank Lampard, Michael Carrick, they've got a good fan base coming along. But so is West Ham. There's a lot of West Ham fans that have been around, mixing with the players, having some selfies done. And credit to the players, they're giving time for the fans, they're, chatting to them.
Good run here. Shot from distance.
That chance, he just couldn't adjust his feet when the ball was laid into him, and they're the big moments that sort of cold from the beginning, and again chasing the game 2-0 down.
Nicky Hernandez had that touch descended in centrally. There's Torres, as you talked about, for the back. Sliding it wide and ruled out for this game.
He knew straight away. He didn't want to move in case he made it worse. Anton Ferdinand played some minutes. Luis Bormoto just
foul on the side there, right into the bench of West Ham.
And the Portuguese international, he's now coaching at Fulham. Just left that arm. Not too much support from the West Ham board, was it? The boys just sitting there, didn't really help him up.
How about Nicky Hernandez? You always say, man, I'd love to be on the bench of West Ham. Not like that.
No.
Pumped into it. Again, a guy spent a couple of years at SMU collegiately, been in the FC Dallas system, loaned out to San Antonio FC, part of their USL championship squad in 2022. And we've seen that too. Guys try to make a name for themselves playing against the crest of a big squad worldwide. The intensity level has seemed to be ratcheted up here so far in this tournament.
Yeah, it's their cup final. How many times they're going to have the opportunity to not only be on the same field but play against them and arguably beat them. Good referee, and let the advantage go there, the ref.
Snap up from Torres. Edge of the box.
Woods is, as I said, Woods just needs to calm down. The West Ham player, number 63. He's just kicking out a little bit with some of the players.
And Noble coming through his big frame. Dumps Nicky Hernandez.
I think that's a little bit of frustration, the way that Dallas are manipulating the ball, keeping the ball moving, good skill, good balance, but Noble just goes in and happy to let Dallas have the ball, and then it's that final third. That's when they close them down and don't allow them to get in behind. Ball like that, that's where Dallas, with that inexperience, maybe will try and force the game and kick the ball long and make something happen. That's where they need a little bit of composure. If your opposition's setting off, don't force anything. You've got a long time in this game to try and win it.
About 7 minutes into our 20-minute first half. Forsen. Oh, just off the sidebar. Flash past Rivera, but couldn't steer it between the pipes.
Yeah, just couldn't get his foot enough around it. He's been lively in this game. Jarvis was involved early, and he just thinks he's just going to dink it over the keeper, but Rivera does enough to put him off. Again, good mobility now. Just have you got enough to get your foot around it? Just didn't get his left foot around the ball enough to curl it into the empty net, but Rivera coming out, maybe just caught in his eye. See, now they've gone long a little bit now, Dallas. They don't need to. They don't need to, because it's playing into West Ham's hand. Jarvis will get on the ball and push forward.
Nice exit distribution there from Martin in flight. So the cutting player ahead of things, and knife down. Matt Jarvis.
He's having a good chat with him, and he was saying, he was really impressed with the opposition they played against, their technical ability, and he didn't realise, like you said, some of them play indoors, they play futsal, They play in limited arenas, and it's a totally different ball game to Jarvis, who's a very experienced Premier League player.
Hope to do better with that off the free kick. Easy
It's always the
collection
way,
there
isn't it?
for
When you
Rivera.
build someone up, they fluff their lines. You know, you're saying how good he is, experienced player, and he kicks it into the ground.
400 appearances as a pro, that speaks for itself. If you've garnered that many throughout
And that's
your
his worst
career.
kick he's ever had.
Yeah. Again, this Dallas team has some players with some indoor experience. We'll see if that becomes a factor. Shot there off target. Goal kick coming up for Martin.
Referee just having another word with just to say to compose yourself.
Again, no offside, so that play legal. Noble got behind the defense. And again, David Martin told us earlier that's something the keepers have to be aware of, where everybody is at all times. If they're in an offside spot, doesn't matter. They're good.
And as a defender, because normally you think, well, I'll let him run, he's running offside, but he's not. So your first reaction is to stop, and that's what just happened then. And then you're playing catch up, and you end up giving a corner away.
Kingsley, yeah, double there. Kings, stretch him out.
Shot again far side. Push up from Elliott Ward. And that one bananaing away from the goal off the outside of the foot.
But West Ham's tactics is whether it's Noble, playing as the lone striker, the true number 9, or Carlton Cole or Harewood, he's going to post up, and then he wants the runners in behind to try and flick that ball off or turn himself and have a shot. They'll leave him up the field.
Torres dropped.
There's definitely an edge to this game. There's a few little tackles and a little flicks here and there.
Oh, two teams hungry.
Yeah, I mean, they lose, realistically they're out.
Sent back, Eric Macias, one of those players with both futsal and indoor experience. Plays for the U.S. futsal national team in that 5-on-5 sport, played on a hard court. Time and space there for Garcia. Ramirez and Martin again has been active early.
Yeah, but they are shots that he would expect, and that's what the West Ham backline are saying. Okay, if you're going to beat our keeper, it's going to be...
Ball, none there as Ramirez went down.
Well, Jarvis is backing into him. Ramirez is trying to grab him around there, and he's just pushing him away.
Couple of bumps, and then the pratfall. Play on, off the corner. Noble.
There's it into Noble, and then he's got the runners. He just can't find... You have to keep your eye on this, because Noble was just having a little square up with one of the players, and there's a bit of pushing and shoving.
Looking for space, low shot, trapped there by Rivera. Good look for Zavin Hines. The guy debuted with West Ham back in 2007. Now coach of West Ham Youth Academy.
But again, they're not going to press. They're not going to waste too much energy. They're going to let Dallas have the ball. They're okay with that. You can hear it coming from Martin, the keeper. Just stay in your area, stay together. They've learnt from the last game because they was getting picked off too many times. Maybe had a little chat with the coach.
Kenny Brown running training yesterday, helping facilitate things. Now, Tom Skinner over there to be active and give some good banter.
Well,
with this
Tom's the face of the program. But the actual brains behind it all is Mr. Brown. he's the one behind it.
Having a good time here on their trip to the States, no doubt.
They've loved every minute of it. They said since they've been here, they've not stopped laughing and joking. But they've come here to do well. You know, you're representing West Ham. Like we've seen with Wolves, we've seen with Dortmund, we've seen with, you know, the women's national team that have been here. Steve Nash is with Como and Cesc Fabregas. You know, these are players and people that are used to winning. But it gives someone like a Dallas or Far East United the opportunity to come up against these players and put the reputations aside and go out onto a field and win a game.
Seeing if they can do that. Yeah, both of these teams struggled to score in regulation in their initial games. Dallas didn't get a goal in regulation, one in target score time. There was one for West Ham and another, both in their losing efforts and both trying to find the recipe to find the back of the net here.
And you can see why Dallas do so well. The technical ability, like we said, with the players, futsal and everything else, but they haven't got that killer run. They haven't got that player that they can play off of and who's going to turn and score goals. We've seen it in other teams. They've got a true number 9 that's going to get on the ball. They're good till the final third. Then they sort of run out of ideas. If you're disciplined as a unit and as a back team, you're not going to give them too many chances. Let them have the ball. And then they start getting frustrated, and then they start wanting to do individual work rather than working as a team.
Hines trying to hold up. Everybody in the vicinity and support. Now forcing, flattening a Dallas United player. That was David Ortiz, another guy with FC Dallas Academy ties, stints in Spain and Colombia, and then playing indoor. Dallas sidekicks, Mesquite Outlaws. Just about 5 minutes left to go here, opening half.
Yeah, and I think West Ham will be delighted, because looking at the lineup before, I was thinking, well, Dallas are going to be alive, they're going to be sharp, they're being equipped, but they've handled the game very well. And when you think of Mullins at the back and Ferdinand, they're not the most mobile, but everything's played in front of them, so they can handle it.
Jarvis trying to turn it. Crunched along the end line. Dallas United looking to counter. Yahir, Jonathan Gallardo, he'll crack it.
He's
off
done
the
him off
body
the
in
ball
front.
there. As I said, that's one off the ball. He just blocked him off. The referee's got to see that, because that could be a head injury.
And
He's
now
got to be aware of that. I can
whistle
see it
down.
from here. It's
Yep.
starting to simmer. There's a little flick out, there's a push, there's a shove. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he's run straight into his arm.
Forsen taking time to gather himself.
I see Anton Ferdinand saying, you got to keep an eye on that. I could see it coming from here. Look, watch him as he blocks him off. Look, there he goes, straight into him. Exactly, he's holding his position. People say, well, he's not made a foul, but he knew that he could just block him off. And that started 15 yards away when they flicked out at each other.
So Forsen collecting himself. You also see the first appearance here for Hero Fines Tiffin, 25-year-old with a soccer background, better known for his acting abilities. Getting some run here with West Ham.
He's done well as well. Coach Brown just talking to him, making sure he's okay, and the lad just making sure he's all right.
Finds Tiffin working up top right now for West Ham. Pana. Luis Rodriguez Jr., Texas native, another from this squad, primarily from the Lone Star State, representing Dallas United. Pana, his nickname on the back of his jersey, number 4. Hines there, dropping his man Ortiz. No call. It will be a kick in for West Ham. Talked about the squad getting here. A lot of the players coming in asked about this tournament. Also asked about West Ham's season, and also their big game coming up. Europa Conference League title game coming up in Prague in June. Big doings for the big club.
Yeah, David Moyes, the ex-Manchester United player and coach in Everton, has done a great job there. They probably overachieved last season in the Premier League. They've survived, which is, they shouldn't be doing that, but to get to a European final has been wonderful.
And this club here representing West Ham, hoping to put themselves in contention for a title. But a must-win game here to try to make their last game in group play tomorrow be ultra meaningful. Cross deflected, but out. Jarvis can't contain it. Quick restart from Asai Romero. Another guy with indoor experience for the Dallas sidekicks. That one, side of the net, flicked up and out.
Yeah, and that's a chance. And that's why they're getting a chance, because they're running in behind. Everything else is in front. as I said, Mullins and Ferdinand can deal with that all day long. But that little run in behind, now as a defender, you're not sure whether to go with him. Is your goalkeeper got him? That little bit of uncertainty, but you've got to be more clinical when you get that chance.
Pawn up, pawn up. Stand up with him. Stay with him, stay with him, stay with him.
Looking to get a through ball. Trying to find Jack Collison climbing through.
Hey, Alberto!
Dallas United player down. Alberto Rodriguez goes by Rocket.
Alberto! Slow it down, boys.
You can see there's a real edge in this game. You know, it's just simmering along, and the referee just keeping it moving along. And we want it to be competitive, which is great, but I know I've been there. You know, the pride starts kicking in. You don't want someone to go past you and do little flicks and tricks.
Final 30 seconds here, opening half. No stoppage time added to this opening 20. Look at Hayden Mullins, still going strong at 44 years of age.
Who's in the back now?
Half-dozen-year stretch.
Well, he's still going. I wouldn't say he's going strong. He hasn't moved out of that area. I can say that. I know him, so it's fine.
He is carrying the crest with pride
With
right
pride.
now.
He's carrying it.
West Ham United, Dallas United in this battle. 0-0 draw to this point. Kenny Brown trying to give some direction for his squad. Get them a break, get them back at it here in half number 2. Dallas United with some good looks early. West Ham looking to counter. Physical, feisty affair here. Second half coming. You're watching TST from North Carolina. The soccer tournament is brought to you by Ally, proud ally of TST. Do it right. By Aviation American Gin, the official gin of TST. And by UFOS, the official active recovery footwear of TST. Halftime here, West Ham United, Dallas United scoreless. Players strategizing here for half number 2 in a critical game here in Group D. Culture by Mo Ali. Far East United won in round ones. Both of these teams want to get that initial win to make their last game of group play matter.
Yeah, and I think you can tell by the way, particularly the West Ham players have had that system about how they're going to close them down. They're trying to press up, and from Dallas's point of view, Dallas United, is not to get too frustrated. Don't try and force the situation. Let the game come to you and open up. They've got enough talent to do that.
Again, if we have a deadlock, head-to-head is the number one tiebreaker, but goal differential could come into play, so track that as we go along. Both these teams dealing with a 2-goal deficit entering this game, and it remains as such at this point here with our scoreless draw at the break. Don't forget the inaugural Premier League Summer Series heading to the United States in 2023. Come see your favorite players from Aston Villa, Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea, Fulham, and Newcastle United from July 22nd through the 30th, or watch all the action across NBC platforms. If you're watching Newcastle, you may see Warren Martin rooting on his squad there. Ready to see which team gets rooted on to victory here this second half. Some West Ham backers hoping the Hammers can get it together. Dallas United looking to be strong. Half number 2 on tap next. The soccer tournament is brought to you by Ally, proud ally of TST. Do it right. By Aviation American Gin, the official gin of TST. And by UFOS, the official active recovery footwear of TST. Dallas United's crest there on display. The backers of Dallas United hoping to see their team forge ahead. West Ham United chasing goals as well. Both these teams looking to get on the board, not only scoring-wise, but in the win column. Some of the action here. Good opportunity for Dallas United, which looked pretty connected early.
Yeah, they did. You know, a lot of the shots for long range and Martin in goal. The first one was an excellent save, and this is where you think West Ham, can they break the deadlock? But another good save by Guerrero, coming down low. Goalkeepers have played their part. It's going to have to be something special to beat these two.
Then target score comes up after the end of our second half. Leading team has 1 goal added to its tally. That becomes the target score for both teams to get to. The first team to target score wins. If they're tied like now, next goal wins. But if we stay tied after 5 minutes, each team gets a player removed, and we'll continue that till we hit that target score. We've seen it here throughout this first day of this event. We go down to 6 aside, 5 aside, 4 aside, and potentially...
That's my favorite rule, actually.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Is it?
Yeah, I like that.
It changes the dynamic too. You get to see teams start strategizing about if they've got tired players to rest to get fresher legs out there when there's more space. We'll see when we get to that point. But the idea is to show that each team is never out of it. Again, 2-0, 3-0 game.
And I think you've seen that after the first game. You know, the first game is that little bit of unknown how to do it, but there's no doubt that West Ham have changed their system. We see earlier on with Blades and Grass that they changed their system as well. And, you know, coaches are playing their part. Players are adapting to what they need to do.
Every game ends on a goal. Fantastic idea. Again, Mike Volt, Henry Tembo. Again, soccer players, fans reached out to John Mooger, the architect of the basketball tournament, the wildly successful event, 10 years running now, that also gives out $1 million winner-take-all prize. They talked and toyed with the idea of the soccer event last couple of years, and this is what they've brought out. It's come out to some quality reviews. And again, talking too with some of the West Ham players after their first game, not sure what they would see. They kind of were really starting to understand it and get into it.
Yeah, it's been marvellous, I think. You know, not only the fans have enjoyed it, and that's
starting to influence things. 43-year-old of the park. Paul Morte looking to restart. Again, one of those veterans trying to use minutes wisely to see if he can get things going. Dallas United, though, poaching it away. Look at a counterattack.
Well, Woods is frustrated again because he felt he was fouled beforehand, and when Hines comes around and he doesn't, he comes back, and the young player just has to be careful because the referee's been quite lenient with him. And like I said, you want to be competitive, you want to put your foot in. It's a physical game, we understand that, but there's a fine line between tackling someone and trying to hurt.
Again, no slide tackles here in this format, and that didn't quite qualify as a slide, but definitely put the foot in to create the foul.
Look at Marlon Harewood. He's going to go into someone as well now. Well, he's been put on the floor. The referee has got to have eyes in the back of his head at the moment because you ain't going to mess with him. I played against him. You know, the worst thing you want to do is upset him. Because he'll let you know about the game.
We saw that after he was fouled, scored on a free kick in the initial game where he just teed off, blasted it through the wall. That shot hit with pace.
A little deflection as well. Yeah. Martin just wasn't sure about his bearings, and that we know the goal was a lot smaller, but he's been training for the whole of his career with a bigger goal, so that's another natural reaction for someone to do.
Quick restart on the corner. Low ball played in near side, and Martin had the correct angle on that.
They're going all over the place this up front as well.
Played in. Big man trying to get.
There's a little bit of contact and invites the tackle in, and then he got a good opportunity for a free kick. It allows the sub to go off. Anton Ferdinand's gone off. And then they're just getting frustrated because they're not able to get in it. And what you don't want to do with West Ham players is start making it a physical game. You're better off passing and moving, make the ball move around, pass it around, and then wait for the opportunity. That's what the Far East team did. They didn't get involved. They played. If you want a physical game, West Ham players will be up for it.
This is just about the spot Harewood scored in the first game. Instead, it's Boamorte powering with the left and cranking it up.
That's not one of his best ones. He's normally got a sweet left foot. Lewis, I'll give you the benefit, my friend, because you have got a sweet left foot. Coaching at Fulham as well. Been used to being in the Premier League. It was great. He caught up with Zach Knight, who they were being teammates together, and you could see him reminiscing about some good times that they had.
Started his career in Portugal and to England. Stretch with West Ham, 2007 to 2011. Go on.
Wall there, head in the ball, and he grabbed his opponent round his neck. This would be interesting.
Harewood.
Yeah, he's got to do a bit better, Harewood. It's gone up to him a couple of times. I know, again, he's 40-odd years of age, but just hold the ball up. Don't worry too much about battling with the defender.
Able to hustle up and force Rivera to make a decision. Played it off the West Ham attacker.
Again, the turn. Gets the ball. They don't close him down. He had one thought in his mind, and Martins is just unsighted there. He couldn't get across. Ward is blocking him. It's in the back of the net before he can react. Cue celebration.
Juan Ramirez, known as Juanito, just a sparkling rocket top corner, and like that, Dallas United in front.
You could hear it though, couldn't you? You could hear the thump of the ball. It's like a true shot when you hear that.
Martin with no shot. West Ham, though, bidding to get one back. Played back.
Well, they think it's been played back. The referees let it go. They've surrounded the referee, but now they're on the attack. Dallas, and they've got numbers over. That's a poor play. And they're going to do all this. They're going to...
Yeah, upset that played back with a foot. The ruling essentially inadvertent, although steered right there. West Ham, though, has it back. Noble trying to work against Garcia. Veteran been crafty, trying to slow down the big man.
Well, he's using his hands. He's grabbing him all the time, and it's that fine line between the contact and then...
Another rocket from distance. Martin had that one tracked off.
And they think it's a corner. Their bench jumps out. I thought there was a slight deflection. Now they're out of shape because they're making the subs. Can they exploit it down? They said they've got 2 against 1 situation.
Woods and Forson.
Yeah, it's cool to see.
Goals in MLS, including 40 plus of them for FC Dallas 2013 with Red Bulls. 18 goals in 33 games. Quality year for Kenny Cooper.
With the target goal, West Ham haven't got to chase the game. They can recoup a little bit, refocus. Just over 10 minutes to go.
Jonathan Harris getting on for the first time here for Dallas United in this one, playing it back to Rivera. Harris, 25 years of age, experience in the National Premier Soccer League with Tulsa Athletic. Both of these teams trying to find times to get some of their frontline performers some rest, knowing we've got to go 40 minutes and then some once we get into target score time.
And that's why Dallas now can't just run the clock down and think, well, we'll keep the ball. You've got to go and get another one, you know. Torres made a good little run in behind. Have you got the ability to go past him?
A Forson, bit of force. Torres looking to win it back, does. Cooper still has the power.
There goes the shirt gone, the big man. He's had a t-shirt on all day.
The man who pumped him home with regularity in MLS does it here in TST.
Well, again, rolling back the years, holding away, and again, Martin can't see it. There's people in the way, and off you go. Take that shirt off. You got the builder's arms as well, hasn't he? Where he's had the t-shirt on, the big fella. Go on, mate, son. Enjoy yourself. That's got to be the owner who's jumped on top of him, isn't it? That's his signing.
I'll tell you what, goal scorers, they never lose that skill, do they?
No.
Kenny Cooper sniffing it out in front, and now,
well,
body flying.
They've got to be careful. I mean, Torres is standing over the ball. I understand there's a lot at stake. Collinson is frustrated and just pushed him out of the way.
Yellow there for Collison.
Yeah. Just get out of the way. The referee, as I said, just got to keep an eye on it. But it's that pride, it's whatever you want to call it, that you don't want to get beat. You don't want to have the opposition, they're trying to waste a little bit of time, trying to flick the ball away. You've got to keep your head, you've got to be cool. But you can see now they're pushing each other, they're shoving each other.
Twisting header, trying to get turned through. Good touch and skill from Torres, almost with a beauty of a strike.
That's what you want to see from Torres. You don't want to see him getting involved, pushing. I said he's a talented player. Watching him earlier, he's got wonderful technique. And they just flick the ball on. And here's the Dallas fans getting involved.
21-year-old almost made it 3-0.
can't do it again, can he? He's doing rollovers and all sorts. He's chipping the ball around. He's enjoying himself, the big fella.
Nice ball. Attempt for the flick there from Yahir, trying to find Torres.
There's another one gone down. I'm going to go out on a limb. There's going to be one tackle from a West Ham player that's not going to be nice. I can feel it in the air. I can feel it, and it's not the rain coming.
Cooper, you too.
They're just getting frustrated, and they're getting under their skin, the Dallas player. They're blocking them off. They're flicking the ball away. They're taking their time, and it's getting under the West Ham player's skin.
Kenny Cooper chatting with Yahir. Jonathan Gallardo.
The fans want Cooper to take it, and so would I.
It'll be the youngster, and the 20-year-old finds the wall.
That must hurt, I'm sure. If someone hits a ball at you that hard, that's why I was never in the wall.
Smart man.
I won't say that.
Alongside Warren Barton, Jason Knapp with you. Latter stages here, regulation. Dallas United with a couple of wonder goals here. Second half to jump ahead 2-0. Again, before we get to target score time, West Ham had some moments, but never ultra dangerous here in this one.
No, they had that early chance earlier on where they should have Woods hit the target, and that gives them a lifeline. Since then, they've sort of run out of ideas, and they're trying that ball into the striker, then getting people to run off, but it's sort of not coming to fruition, really, with the players are not making their runs in behind.
No line, no line.
Don't forget, this is like 2 games in a short space of time for a lot of these players, and the journey and everything else, and this is where they look vulnerable now.
3v2.
Transition chance. Dallas played off
That's more like it.
and skied out.
Cooper's had enough. He's gone off now. He said, that's it.
Does sub out. Fresh personnel here, final 5-minute stretch.
Tell you what, the Dallas players are not showing any respect to the West Ham players. They're
Well, one trend we're seeing so far, Warren, you look at the overall magnitude of what we've seen here in this opening day of group play. Look at some of the big names, big brands, Dortmund, Wolves, West Ham, all still searching for victory.
Victory, yeah.
And their mix of legends and some coaches and young talent mixed against some of these young, hungry sides who have come to play and make a name for themselves. More often than not, the youngsters are striking successfully. Another chat there from Michael Laverne, trying to keep things calm. And again, especially for the teams that are going to make it through the knockout play. Don't want to get that accumulation of yellows here. You get 3, you're going to sit for a game. That first game beyond the group stage. Noble lays it off. Chance there for Mullins. Blocked. Time and space for the moment. Gabriel Facundo, another 20-year-old, taken down.
I told you that was always coming. That was always coming. The more he run with the ball, it gives Mullins enough time to get back. This is where West Ham can't concede again, because with all due respect, you don't see him scoring 3 goals. In 2, you've got a chance. As we've seen before, you get a goal, a little bit of seed of doubt coming in. This is just where he comes across, and Mullins probably more clumsy than anything else. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We saw in the morning. But what they can't do is get in front of Martins again and block his view of the goal. You see the last one, he got smashed against the wall.
So he tried to run some traffic in front of Martin. Played across, diagonal ball.
That was clever because they used the sub. They used the sub that had gone off. So West Ham players really wasn't picking him up. They made the sub and then he run on.
And something else, unique wrinkle to this format you got to think about. Especially there at a set piece.
They played it in, didn't see it was on there, and he's made a run in, and West Ham players wasn't aware of that coming in.
That's somebody who studied in utilize the
Yeah.
rules to their advantage.
That little 5%, 10%, if he can give you a chance.
Low ball flicked out by Mullins. Dylan Vidral played at Central Arkansas, coached with the FC Dallas youth, now runs his own academy, leading this Dallas United squad, potentially leading them to a victory here in their second of 3 games of group play. Forson might have had the advantage, but whistled.
The referee probably just a little bit too quick to blow the whistle, and West Ham trying to get on with it a bit quicker, probably just got over a minute to get into the game. But it's not over, you know, they 2-0. Okay, a lot of the players have had a rest. They're waiting to get on. They just need a little bit of magic.
Tuck in, Juanito, tuck in.
Noble,
Tuck in, Juanito.
Forson, Crafty inside the box, hauled down. Referee says play on.
And so did, oh, wow. He's took him out there. There's that tackle I was telling you about. There's another one.
And another one down. Elliott Ward with the slide tackle.
That's good by Cooper just to get him away, because with all due respect, Cooper knows what the players are going for, the West Ham players. But this is the decision that's irritated everybody. You know, he slips over the ball, and then once he plays it, he's frustrated, and that's it. Mullins just taking him out there. The referee got to look at that.
And then Ward coming in with the slide tackle, which is illegal here in this format. So we'll see
I think
what.
I think it was a few things that was illegal,
Yeah.
let alone the tackle in the end.
Well, yeah, and Michael Laverne's got a lot to clean up here in this
But
latter
I did
stretch.
say it was coming. You could just sense it. I've been there. You know, they're frustrated. They're playing against younger teams that are having a bit of fun. There's probably a little bit of banter going around. It's not gone too well, and I'm not saying it's right, but you could just sense it was coming.
Again, clock going past the 40-minute mark here of regulation. We'll see how much stoppage time is added, if any, before we get to.
I must say, I didn't think it was a
Target
penalty. I
score
thought he
time.
lost his footing.
That's Juanito. Juan Ramirez had the first goal.
What a strike that was. That seems a lifetime away. And there's a yellow card.
And the yellow there for Elliott Ward.
There's a lot going on in the sideline as well with the officials and the coaches. They're just having a few words. Who says it doesn't get competitive? Who says it doesn't mean anything? This $1 million is making people do strange things.
Anton Ferdinand said it best when chatting with the media the other day. He said, man, the competitive edge, just getting back into the kit, the uniform, the juices get flowing. And that was before getting onto the pitch.
Exactly. Yeah. That's before someone's putting it through your legs and running the other side. It's just in your nature. When you've done it for so many years, you're competitive, even with your own teammates, you know, you're fighting for your spot. It's just nature.
Minute of stoppage time been added. Again, that clock kept rolling along past the 40-minute mark, so we'll see eventually when it's whistled to get to target score time, and that time has arrived. 2-0 Dallas United here at the end of regulation. So the target score becomes 3 +1 to the leading team, and we'll see how it plays out. One more goal for Dallas United will end it. West Ham needs 3 to steal the win.
Every time we hit the 5-minute mark in target score time.
Dallas United with a pair of second half goals to put its squad in the driver's seat here as we get to target score time. Dallas United needs 1, West Ham needs 3 to get to that target score of 3 and be declared the victor here in this latest game of group play. Kenny Cooper, you see him in the mix, chatting. Officials having a conversation now as well as we get set for the target score time coin toss.
Yeah, what a goal by Cooper as well, and Torres had an impact, and I can't wait for this.
Be a little.
Because if West Ham can at the moment, just trying to keep cool heads going around.
So getting ready for our target score time coin toss, brought to you by soccer.com. See Rene Garcia been such a stalwart along the back for Dallas United. David Martin still chatting with Michael Laverne.
That's interesting. Well, they're having a conversation, the West Ham players with the Dallas players, and like I said, we want it to be competitive, but we don't want to see what we're seeing at the moment. A lot of these players, West Ham, have been together since. If you want a chance to rectify what's just been going on.
And so they've huddled up. Dallas United players just kind of milling about at this point, trying to figure out what's going on. Anton Ferdinand, you see him in there in the mix, kind of leading that team huddle.
I think that's good. Cool head, just saying, we want to be competitive, and the referee's job is hard enough. You don't want things off the ball, but you want your chance to go. And that's great to see Anton Ferdinand having a say about the team, and Marvin Harewood. There's a lot of players there that have been around the block a few times, and they know each other. Been together since 05-06, and that's the Dallas coach as well, having a conversation.
And Henry Tembo, one of the leaders here of TST, having conversations with some of the Dallas United members as well after his chat with David Martin and some of those on West Ham United. They may just be trying to see if they can get things calmed down here. And we're not clear at this point what is next, whether we will move on with target score time or not. Trying to get some clarification from the field.
The only thing I would say, listen, I've been in this situation. Players would calm it down themselves. They would have a look and say, okay, we got out of line there. Let's just focus on the game. We're representing West Ham. I think they're trying to find out now what's going to happen.
See Carlton Cole coming over with a chat with the referee.
Experience there, aren't they? I think that smile says it all. I think they're concerned how the players might react. And Carlton's probably saying, well, listen, I've played a number of games. I know what's at stake, and we don't want to speculate too much. But I can't see anything else than just the bit of concern. Yes, it's played in a competitive nature, but also in a good spirit. And that is a big part of the game.
Anton Ferdinand, passionate right now in his conversation. And that's Henry Tembo there in the blue, and one of the guys that helped come up with this idea of this format, what's become TST. So Mullins with a little kind of wave back to Nicky Hernandez. Kenny Cooper looks good to go.
I think, as I said, the players would figure it out. The players are going to figure it out. I know the officials are maybe concerned about the situation, whatever it may be. We're going to find out soon. One of our people going to find out what is actually going on. But players have come here. The referee. That's a big call if they're just going to stop the game, because You know, the rule was made to lay that you can have a chance to keep going.
What are you looking at me for? Could I open my shoe up?
And again, you see, some guys continuing to jaw a little bit there, trying to get us some separation.
Well, that's not going to help the situation either. That's, you know, keep them away. I mean, that's not what we want to be involved with. I mean, this is what we want to talk about the game, not something that might have been said. And Anton Ferdinand is a big advocate in the UK of show racism, the red card. He's been involved in that himself, you know, with the John Terry situation many years ago. He can't go, he just wants to be with Chris Paul, but like I said, if something has been said, deal with it.
So we wait and see how things will progress. Again, some of the TST officials chatting there with two leaders of the teams here. Again, trying to decide what to be done here. Again, if the referee heard something or not, how do they progress?
If there's a West Ham player that feels like they've heard something, I mean, this has to stop. Yeah, it's, you know, in life in general, I think we get wrapped up that it just happens on the field. It's something that needs to be dealt with, and right for the players to voice it. Someone like Chris Paul to be over there.
So Frank Noble speaking his piece. Again, West Ham players,
they're going. They
taking off their boots.
Yeah. You know, like I said, forget the score, forget what's gone on. If that is the case,
regardless, it's not us. That's not us, mate. It's not us.
Again, at this point, West Ham starting to pack up. And still a chat. Dallas United having a conversation. Ferdinand.
well, he's
still,
adamant, isn't he? Anton is adamant. You know, there's no way he's going to put this in. And, you know, speaking to the referees and everything. And I'm so upset because we don't want this in the game. Yes, it was competitive. Yes, there was maybe a tackle that was out of line, but going down this avenue is not what we want to be involved with. And Anton, as I said, is a big voice in the UK, and rightly so, because you don't need to have this. Because all of this, well, we just sweep it under the carpet. That don't help anything. And whoever is involved has got to look at themselves and be punished. It's just sad that we're having to go through this.
Yeah, the Dallas United team still kind of in a bit of a state of shock, I think, expecting this game to continue, trying to look for another goal.
I think shock and embarrassment would be another thing to deal with. But I mean, look at the West Ham players all together.
Well,
Lewis Bormoto, Anton Ferdinand as well. And there's a real camaraderie with that group of players. They went through a lot in 05-06. Carlton Cole, as I said, Anton, they've had enough of what has been said, or if something has been said, whatever it may be. And the West Ham fans appreciate that have travelled to come and see him.
So West Ham will walk off. Dallas United in front here, 2-0. In the chat about if something was said from one team to the other, potentially in a racial motive. We'll see how this all plays out. Saw Chris Paul in there trying to play peacemaker. Carlton Cole and the rest of this group striding off from West Ham United. Again, they have made their point by stepping off.
It's just very, very sad. You know, that we can't get into an event there about allegedly, and we have to say that word, and that something was said. But for the players to react like they did, and to have Chris Paul to be around for that long, to be talking to the players and be involved, and you know what the NBA have done for their campaign in these type of situations, and you can just tell by his face, he's so upset. Anton Ferdinand, as I said, he went through it himself many, many years ago. And we've seen it, haven't we? We've seen it in Real Madrid players. It's there, and you know, we can't just stop. We've got to stamp it out. And, you know, something like this as well, it goes global. You know, these are celebrity players. These are big time personalities, and you know,
again, an established United team which worked so hard, and Warren came up with two of the nicest goals of this tournament. The first goal from Juanito Juan Ramirez was an absolute thing of beauty, and a shame to see those ones tarnished by this ending here, as we were set for target score time.
just looking at here we are with the West Ham players really close to us at the moment, and just looking at their expression, there's disbelief.
And Dallas United starting to applaud their fans. And Dallas United will claim the victory here. West Ham holding to its principles after believing something was said on the pitch. Referee apparently did not hear it. West Ham deciding to pull off at the end of target score time. And Dallas United getting the victory here by a 2-0 score. Dallas United moves to 1-1 in group play. West Ham United to 0-2. Certainly more to be learned about this development here as we get into the final games of group play coming tomorrow.
I must say as well with Chris Paul, he could have quite easily just kept away, but he wanted to be involved. Kenny Cooper scored a wonderful goal, but Jason, that all goes to the side. That has to be put to the side, and this has to be looked into. And I'm sure they will do. And then we can get on with the games coming up. The kids are here, the fans are here, coming to see their players. And it's tough. It's tough.
So again, what was a action-packed contest between these two sides, with two glorious goals for Dallas United, now kind of ending with a little bit of a stark stop here, with West Ham deciding to pull off.
But because I've been involved in the game a long, long time, I could sense it was coming. You could just sense it was around. It was finally. I'm not saying the referee could we swell it a bit quicker, that the tackles wasn't flying around, the elbows wasn't going. There's a lot of emotions going on in this game, and there's a lot of emotions now at the moment. And one of the biggest things is sadness for me.
In this Dallas United team, certainly not the way they wanted this one to end. You look at a shake of the head from Juanito in his shot of brilliance and overall good performance for his group on the pitch. You see them walking, certainly disappointing end to the way that this game has come to a conclusion at this point. Dallas United with both goals here in regulation. They're now striding off to the side, and we'll see how things play out. Again, apparently Dallas player making a slur towards West Ham, and West Ham United deciding that was unacceptable, deciding to pull themselves off the pitch. So Dallas United again in a physical affair here with West Ham United. And as you talked about, Warren, you could kind of see the physicality escalating and the emotions rising throughout.
Yeah, I could tell, you've got a young Dallas team that want to prove their point. You've got Premier League